Hey VC, it's Ron. Thanks for joining me. Hey, this is my first update in over a month. So, I'm raring to go. I got some albums, I've got some 45s, I've got some recent pressings, I've got some vintage pressings, I've got some US, some UK, some psych, some hard rock. So let's get going with a reissue that just pretty recently came out. And it is an import. And it's out of the Czech Republic, and which is kind of odd, but it's Twink Think Pink, and this is his 1969 Dark Side masterpiece. And the cool thing about this is, it's pretty cool anyway, is it's the original mono mix that was prepared but never issued. It was going to come out on Decca's Nova series in the UK, and they decided not to do it, and the stereo was only released. So yeah, it's out of the Czech Republic, and it's on Noise Agami Mayhem label. And this is the label. It sounded good, but it didn't sound great. They obviously didn't get to the master tape, but it also came with this card, picture of Twink, and some liner notes on the back of it. And I will get a shot of the hype sticker for you, hopefully. It's pretty extensive, so I'm just going to show it. So hopefully I got it. Alright, the next one I got is the second album from Spooky Tooth, Spooky Tooth 2. And this has a little different cover than it was released in the UK. A little bit variation of the front, and different text. And I don't believe the UK had the picture of the band on the back. And this is released in the US on the A&M label. So this was released in March of 1969. This is what's on the turntable. It's Phantom's Divine Comedy, Part 1. And this was issued in 1974 on Capitol Records. And I'm sure you all knew the story on this one. It was rumored to be Jim Morrison coming out of exile, and obviously not. I was doing some research on this album, and I actually came across some photos of this guy hanging out with the Doors. So he hooked up with them and he was hanging out with them. So that was pretty cool to see those, pictures. And yeah, I found out his real name. I don't remember it offhand, but he was out of Detroit. I think it was Detroit, Michigan anyway. So pretty cool album. Yeah, this opening track's got the wow factor for sure. Pretty amazing. And the next one I got is it's a real recent Record Store Day release from Black Friday, and it's the free design. Now this is Sunshine Pop, and I got this on sale, so I grabbed it. And back in the day, in the 80s, maybe even the 90s, I wouldn't have appreciated something like this, but my tastes have kind of grown more, so I actually enjoy this. You got to be in the mood for it, but side 1 is really, really good, and side 2 is more of what's already gone on side 1, but it's just a notch down. It's marred by a couple of cover versions, but yeah, this is just so good. It's, as far as Sunshine Pop goes, this ranks way, way, way up there. I don't think I've ever seen an original of this. Then just picked this one up. I have not had a chance to listen to the whole thing yet. It's the Troys, the complete recordings, and Randy might know this album as this band was out of Michigan. And they did have a couple of 45s, but most of this material is stuff from the vault. Now this stuff has been reissued before. It was on CD, but this is the first time that it's ever come out on vinyl. And they reproduced the labels of their 45s, Space Records, and Phalanx. So yeah, this goes into the site, garage site area. So yeah, I want to listen to the rest of this. I just haven't had time, but it sounded good. And I looked on Discogs, and this is a limited edition of 500 copies, which doesn't mean a whole lot. You know, it's going to be reissued again probably by some other label. Then I got the first Frost album. Frost Music, another Michigan band with Dick Wagner, and this one is a second pressing. It's like a 70s pressing, but it's cool. I don't really care about having originals of this band, so I've got it for the music. That's the big thing on that one. Then I picked up kind of a folk proggy band from the Boston area, Earth Opera, and I'd never heard this one before. It actually has about a 3-star rating. It was pretty good. I wasn't crazy about the singer. After a while, he kind of gets on your nerves. He'd have been better off as a second singer in the band rather than the main singer. But he does okay. I really like the song on side 2, Time and Again. It's got a couple of extended heavy fuzz breaks on it. Really cool. That was probably the high point of the album for me, was that song, Time and Again. And I picked up Look Inside the Silent Choir, 1968. And this has got Mark Benno and Leon Russell. And you might have seen Benno's name credit on the Doors' LA Woman. He played bass on that album. I had this album years and years and years ago. And I picked it up, and it's pretty good. It got good reviews when it first came out, but it sold very, very poorly. But yeah, an uncut copy too, so I got a pretty good price on it, so I like that one. Picked up a original German Uriah Heep, Look at Yourself, and it's got the mirror. Different cover, definitely real different compared to the US cover, and even a little bit different from the UK cover. The UK cover had male eyes, and this has female eyes. Different back on it compared to the UK copy. And there's a couple of different labels on this one. I think I got one of the earlier ones. It's on the Island Sunburst pink rim label. I guess this one, the German copies originally had a poster with it. I didn't get the poster. Picked up the second album to be released in the United States by the Atomic Rooster. And this has got a sticker on there. I believe it's from Eastside Records, which was a Phoenix store here, and they're defunct now. So I'm pretty sure that that sticker's from that store, so I'm just going to leave it on there. as I collect record store price stickers on album covers. So I'm just going to leave that. And it's on the Electra Butterfly label. This next one is a local album, and it's out of, looks like Maryland, back east in the United States, and this is Power Pop, and it's a 4-song EP. It's by a band called Hollywood East, and it was released on clear translucent vinyl. And all 4 songs are on one side. The flip side is blank. I like that concept. That's pretty cool. And this came out in 1982. Excellent power pop. And Tim Allen said he was getting into power pop lately. So I'm sure he would probably enjoy this album. I wish it had been a little bit more punky, but it's definitely very cool. Then I picked up an original Kinks Greatest Hits Celluloid Heroes. And this is like a real shabby compilation that came out on RCA in 1976 after the Kinks had been dropped from the RCA label. It's on the Tan RCA label, and it's got a lot of weird edits on it compared to the original album releases. The opening track, Everybody's a Star, Star Maker, is actually sped up over the version that's on Everybody's in Showbiz, which is kind of weird. I think it was probably a mistake, but yeah, it's definitely fast. And there's a song on here that is actually extended. It's got some extra lyrics that are not on the original release of it. It might be one of the Survivors. I can't remember. But you can look it up on the internet if you're all that interested. It'll tell you. I was looking at a web page that told all the edits, everything that's different on this. It outlined. Then I picked up Mick Abraham's first solo album, and he was the original guitarist for Jethro Tull. He appears on their first album, and he was the guitarist and lead singer for Bloodwind Pig. So I have not had a chance to listen to this, but I heard it's good blues rock, and it's on the A&M label. No, yeah, A&M Chrysalis label. And it came with a company sleeve which I'd never seen before. It's got a Ansel Adams photo on it, and there's some albums on the back that you can get. This is an original A&M inner sleeve. Did I show the inner gatefold? I don't know if I did or not. All right. The next one I got another Renaissance. I think I've got about 5 or 6 copies of this album now, imports in the US. This has got the different back with the negative photo of the kid. And there is another shot of this where it's the positive photo. And there's also another back cover with the band. Full color photo of the band, which I've shown before. So really cool to get this. I got it just a few bucks. Nice shape too, so I had to grab it. It does have a tear, but I'll live with it. Okay, I got a couple more albums, and then I'll flash some 45s. I went to a record show a while back. It was put on by Discogs. It was like a Discogs sponsored Crate Diggers record show, and it was at a club, inside the club, and it was dark. You pretty much needed a flashlight to look at the records. I mean, it just sucked. You might as well have been in a cave. The only lighting they had is they had the front doors open, which helped, and then they just had the regular nightclub lighting on the inside. And the advertisement that I saw said 30 dealers. Well, it wasn't even 30 tables. 30 tables wouldn't even have fit in the room. But yeah, that was probably just a bait to draw people in, probably. But it was alright. I did pick up some few things here and there, and this is one of the things I got. I got a really nice Velvet Underground Loaded original. It's got a near mint copy and excellent vinyl. Cotillion. Now, I had this back in the 80s, and somewhere along the line I got rid of it. So this is the original inner sleeve. So glad to pick this up again. Good album. It's got Sweet Jane on it. Very cool. And then this one I just picked up yesterday, and it's Maypole. And this album is just killer. Hard Psych. Some of you might know it, and if you don't know it, you're gonna have to check it out. I know John at John's Rockin' Vinyl, who doesn't do videos anymore. I know he would like this. I'm not sure if he has it or not. Garen would love it. So it's on the Colossus label, which is the same label that Shocking Pink was on. Or not Shocking Pink, Shocking Blue. But yeah, check this one out. It's from 1971. It's their only album. There has been some material released on the band on CD that was recorded after this album, but I've not heard that. But this is just awesome album, and they are not cheap. They go for near mint copies, 250 bucks or so. But this one's kind of a mid-grade. I got a pretty good deal on it, so I'm happy with it. And I'll put a link down in my page on this video, and a link to the full album. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, so you guys can check that out. Now on that Think Pink reissue that I got, it came with a 45, and this is it right here. And this is by the Aquarian Age. This was Twink's band, and they put out a 45 in the UK. And it's got the original version of 10,000 Words in a Cardboard Box, which is on that album. But this is the original, it's more like a pop psych version of it. And the other side is Good Wizard meets Naughty Wizard. So this is just a reissue of that 45. So it's very cool. This was recorded right about the time that the band Tomorrow was breaking up in '68. I got a US Donovan. Now, a lot of these I got at the show, and they were cheap, so I grabbed them. I got a Donovan Mellow Yellow US picture sleeve, 45. Eric Burden and the Animals. Didn't have this one, so happy to get it. Upgraded my Rolling Stones, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Child of the Moon. Got a great deal on this Beatles Ballad of John and Yoko. And I just picked this one up yesterday. It's The Damned Friday the 13th EP from 1981. And I was told by the store clerk that these are non-album tracks. Disco Man, Limit Club. They do a cover version of Citadel by the Rolling Stones. And there's one other song on here. And it is Billy Bad Breaks. So you Damned fans, let me know if that's true, that those songs are not on any album. I did look on Discogs, and I guess this was only released in the Netherlands, this is a Dutch pressing. Netherlands, Germany, and Sweden. I don't believe it got a British release. I got this Monkees first single of 1967, and it's a little bit of me, a little bit of you, but the B-side actually is better. It's a Michael Nesmith track, The Girl I Knew Somewhere, and that's non-album, so very cool. This was going to be released with a picture sleeve with a different B-side, and they pulled it. They made the sleeves, but it never made any records, so if you can find that picture sleeve, it's worth hundreds of dollars. It's pretty much the same sleeve design as the Pleasant Valley Sunday picture sleeve. Then I got Sam the Sham and the Pharaoh's Juju Hand. Like all these 45s that come from the show, and I got them real cheap. Got a nice Paul Revere and the Raiders, Good Thing. Paul Revere and the Raiders, Ups and Downs. And this one I got was pretty, I got this for like $3. It was Harvest Neil Young Jukebox EP. It has 6 songs on it. Came out in '72. Now it did have a picture sleeve. I don't know if it was a paper sleeve or a cardboard cover. It was probably a paper sleeve. And it just had the artwork from the album cover on it. And this is it right here. So yeah, Old Man, Needle and Damage Done, Heart of Gold, Harvest, and Alabama. Complete versions of it. Styrene, pretty good shape though, for $3. Quite a find there. Okay, that does it for this update, and I'm probably going to get out one more video before Christmas. I do have some VCLT in the mail coming from Deadwax 66, so I'll be showing you guys what I got, and I might do a video on my EPs collection from the 1950s, which I've never shown, so I might knock that out too. We'll see. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the future later.